A newly released music video filmed in Texas tells the little-known story behind the Māori hymn Whakaaria Mai, revealing its historical connection to the late evangelist Billy Graham. The project was created by Dr. Steve Ellers, a Māori Anglican priest and academic from Palmerston North, who now resides in Texas, moved there in July 2025 to become Associate Professor of Communication at Letourneau University, an interdenominational Christian university in Longview, Texas. So they've put together this video. It features a Texas student, Glory Griffin, who studies at Letourneau. She sings the hymn in both te reo Māori and English, accompanied on guitar by Dr. Ellers. And joining me on the show from Longview, Texas, Dr. Steve Ellers and Glory Griffin. Kia ora, welcome to the program.
Kia ora, kia ora.
Nice to meet you both. And,
nice to meet you.
And Steve, you were just saying nice to hear a Kiwi accent, right? You don't hear too many of those in Texas.
Yes, that's true.
Hey, so this is such a cool story when you sent through the media release. And take us back to 1959, Billy Graham coming to New Zealand and the significance of how it sparked this beautiful hymn. Steve.
Yeah, so according to Reverend Canon Witito Huata's biography, Billy Graham went to New Zealand in 1959 on his crusade, and How Great Thou Art was popular, and he said you should have one in te reo. And so Reverend Canon Witito Huata and Reverend Canon Sam Rangiihu, both Māori Anglican priests, took the last verse of the translated hymn Abide With Me, an Anglican hymn, which is called Te Ariki Hei Au Koe Noho Ai in Māori. They took the last verse and they put that last verse to the tune of How Great Thou Art, and so Whakaaria Mai was born.
That's so cool. That's really amazing. And so that was how it was born. And now what's the connection with Billy Graham, New Zealand, and Letourneau University of why you've brought this project together, Steve?
So Billy Graham was actually on the board of trustees here at Letourneau. I can't remember the exact years now, but it was in the 60s and 70s. And I am, now an associate professor here at Letourneau. And I knew of the story about Billy Graham's connection to Whakaaria Mai. I just didn't know his connection to Letourneau until I started researching when I was asked to come over for an interview, and when I started researching the university, and I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. And so that was always in the back of my mind, that connection between Billy Graham and Whakaaria Mai. And I mentioned it to different people here at the university who also thought it was interesting. So one day I raised it with Professor Jim Taylor, who's the Director of Fine Arts and Music here at Letourneau, and I said the story, and I said, hey, what would be a good idea would be if we did our own version, a Letourneau version of Whakaaria Mai in te reo and in English. Have you got a student who can sing it, and I'll do the Māori strum on guitar? And he said straight away, I know who, and he put me in connection with this young lady.
Glory Griffin. Hello.
Hello.
Now I've watched the song. I'm going to play it on the show later after our interview. And you sing it really beautifully. How has this experience been for you?
It's been a wonderful experience. Like Dr. Ellers said, he got in contact with me last semester, and it was the end of a semester, so I didn't know, in a good way, I didn't know how big this project was going to be.
Yeah, no pressure when you don't know.
When he contacted me, we met up that day. I still didn't know what he was going to ask me about. I just knew it was related to music. And then we met up. He introduced himself. He told the story, the history of Whakaaria Mai, Billy Graham, of whom I knew about Billy Graham because he's famous, world-renowned. I knew his connection to Letourneau. And instantly I felt like it was something I couldn't turn down, even though it was a little intimidating thinking of a new language that I'd never sang in before.
Yeah.
But when Dr. Ellers made the connection between New Zealand and Laterno, I just knew that it was very particular to Dr. Ellers, and only he could have made that connection, and only the Lord could have made that connection through him. And I thought that this was something that I didn't want to pass up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very unique situation, isn't it? Feels like it's got the fingerprints of God all over it.
Yes.
How long did you guys sort of practice and stuff before you filmed it?
So that conversation was at the beginning of December,
Okay.
and then we filmed in early March.
Yep.
But between then, we only met up 3-4 times to in-person rehearse.
Yeah.
Everything else was digital, over the phone. I think Dr. Ellers was just trusting that I was practicing.
She
Yeah.
picked it up on day one, so it was, you know, it was. I knew she could do it because she
Yeah.
had studied Japanese,
Okay.
and so yeah, the language is similar
Oh,
in terms
right.
of pronunciation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
That was the hand of God for sure, because I think if I hadn't had that background in Japanese phonetics, I would not have picked up the language as easily as I did, which took the weight off of me as a student in my senior year. So
For sure.
it just made it more fun instead of stressful.
Yeah, that's cool. It's such a great opportunity. And it seems, Steve, like it's been quite well received in the media. It's been all over the place here. I understand you're doing some media in Texas as well.
Yes, we were just recently, was it this week, that we were in our local Longview News website and their newspaper. But yeah, no, it was picked up in New Zealand rather quickly by Te Ao News and the Herald. We even got to the front of the Herald.
I saw that.
Yeah, we were right underneath the cyclone. When the cyclone struck, we were the next article.
Crack up. Yours would have been a nice distraction.
Seems like it.
Yeah. So what's your sort of hopes and aspirations for it now? Just that more people get to hear it and share it around. What's your gut feeling there, Steve?
For me, it's about, I suppose, it's contributing to spreading the gospel. And I think a lot of our people need that all over the place, and including, back home. I think a lot of including Māori people. I don't know if you've been following the statistics, but there are less Christians now in New Zealand, including Māori. So, I mean, everyone knows the song, Whakaaria Mai. You go to any tangi or any event at the marae and there's, everyone knows it. But have they actually thought about the meaning and history?
Yeah, good point. And for you, Glory?
I think being a part of this was the coolest thing, and my hopes for it is just for it to continue to, like he said, spread the gospel in its own way, bring awareness to the Maori people, even to Texans in the U.S., specific to my school, for the students here to know that their school has a beautiful legacy. Billy Graham's legacy continues to affect people like far past the lifespan of his days on earth, and I think it's just part of being something bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm about to graduate, so it was just like a cherry on top to my academic career, even my career as a worship leader. I don't know what my musical, career is going to look like after this, but this is a really awesome way to be a part of something really beautiful.
Yeah. It could even be something that works as a catalyst for other people in their own native tongue, indigenous tongue, that they start to sing worship music to God, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Dr. Steve Ellers and Glory Griffin, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your wonderful song with us, Whakaaria Mai.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kia ora.